All right, IGN is talking about combat stances.
I don't think anyone would argue the idea that a Jedi makes for a pretty badass playable video game protagonist.
Let's see what they have to say here.
Force powers, they're quick, and they can jump really high. All great innate attributes for an action game, but one challenge about having a Jedi main character is that they're only really known to use lightsabers.
That's true.
That presents a bit of an issue as most good action game heroes have multiple weapons to help keep combat fresh over the course of the game. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order found
the ponchos,
to
man.
this problem by giving Cal 2 different lightsaber stances, each with their own combat focus and moveset, and with the sequel, Jedi Survivor,
they upped
Respawn is looking to up the ante with a total of 5 different stances that Cal can use over the course of his journey. To find out more about each of these stances, I talked with Senior Design Director Jason DeHarris and Game Director Stig Asmussen, who walked through the design philosophy behind each stance and their unique approaches to combat.
I'm interested to see what they do here. The combat stance is explained. Let's go. Nice cut there.
Focuses throughout the development of Jedi Survivor has been this concept of Jedi 2.0 and how to take Cal from where he was in Jedi Fallen Order, a young and relatively inexperienced Padawan trying to find his place and identity, to where he is now in Jedi Survivor, a much more confident and capable Jedi Knight who's also 5 years wiser.
Okay, so it's 5 years later. He's much more wise. He knows what he's doing now. The game just looks so good too.
As Moosin said,
I'm not even watching it on the highest quality because I can't handle it right now. But
reflected in Cal not just in the story, but through his combat as well. As a result, Cal is a much more capable fighter right from the start in Jedi Survivor.
Okay, that is huge. So we're gonna be able to just pick up where we left off and like continue to build. So it's not like we have to go back and relearn all this stuff. Like, you forgot it again. Oh my god, you gotta go back and learn the abilities. That's really cool. That's something I was worried about.
Available right from the beginning of the game.
3
single blade.
Okay, 3 available from the beginning of the game. You guys hear that? 3
double bladed and dual blade.
Okay, awesome.
We felt like it was important to give the player a greater arsenal right off the bat.
That makes sense.
We had 2 fully realized stances in the first game, and that was the single and that was the staff. And we had a stance where you had a twin blade, which was something that we wanted to fully realize in the first game, but we basically ran out of time.
That makes sense.
Ended up becoming a special move. It was a really cool moment, but it was, not given the same amount of focus and execution. So that was
now they got
day one. We're like, we're gonna finish our twin stance.
Awesome. Okay, that's cool.
The team really used the twin blade stance as the jumping off point.
Ooh, it looks like the battle mode is coming back. That's really cool. That is actually brand new confirmed. They did not talk about the battle mode coming back, so that's really cool.
The roles the single and double blade stances would play in combat. And so they wanted to start by trying to make the twin blades feel unique.
And that's where we started to think, okay, let's make twin a little more technical.
That's cool.
Approachable, anybody can pick up and play, but there's a lot more, I guess, combat nuance to it.
That combat nuance
so it's like a more advanced mode,
you're
I guess.
A bit of a glass cannon. You take more damage, but you attack faster and have a wider array of unique combos, some of which require you to pause for a beat before continuing the combo. In addition to that, Twin Blade stance is the only one where you're able to dodge or guard cancel out of the startup animations of an attack. Other stances have you commit to your attacks very much like you would in a game like Dark Souls, where once you press the attack button, you have to wait until your attack animation finishes before you can get out of the way.
Whoa, that was a cool dodge there.
More on your reflexes and freely get out of the way when danger is incoming.
With Twin, we kind of let you ride the line between, reckless and aggression, but you pay for it if you're making mistakes.
The single blade stance is the all-rounder stance of Jedi Survivor. It's got medium range and medium power, and a jack-of-all-trades approach to the skills that utilize it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's relatively fast, so there's not the same amount of commitment to each attack compared to the slower stances.
It's just like a general
lightsaber out for a mid-range attack, and its special ability is a strong thrusting attack that can be charged to deal heavy stamina damage.
Ooh, you can charge it.
Like
that's really cool.
The double-bladed stance
they just decapitated that droid, by the way.
Stance for crowd control. If there's a large group of weak B1 droids crowding an area, it's never a bad idea to bring out that double blade and start dancing your way through the crowd.
That's pretty cool. Ooh, dismemberment! Dismemberment! Did you see that? Hold up. Watch this. Watch the leg. Watch the leg. His leg's gone.
Largely focused on close range damage, spread out all around Cal. The downside is that there's
He just
a
cut
lot of
his head,
startup
too.
time
Oh
to
my
its attacks,
God.
making it a weapon that you really need to be careful with when putting it to
Ooh.
use against faster enemies. There will be 2 brand new stances that you'll be able to wield in Jedi Survivor, and while Respawn wanted to keep a lot of the cards relating to these 2 stances close to their chests, we do know that one of them is called the Crossguard stance,
You have the Crossguard.
and utilizes a hilted lightsaber much like the
Ooh,
one that
that
Kylo
was
Ren
cool.
uses, and the other one is called the Blaster stance.
They haven't shown the
which is a
blaster yet.
fighting style that incorporates both a lightsaber
I am so excited to see how the blaster works.
and a blaster. DeHarris described the Crossguard stance as a high-risk stance that deals the most damage, but is also the slowest and has the least amount of range.
So that is one where we wanted the player to.
I see. So this is like hit damage heavy.
But there's a huge risk, probably more than twin, I would say, to where you have to understand spacing, because with that stance, we don't artificially push you.
Oh, wait, hold on. I just realized the Purge Troopers are also just confirmed to be back now, because we haven't seen them before in this game yet.
I mean, it's kind of like a fighting game stance a little bit, so we wanted that stance to be a little more mastered.
Ooh! Yo, that was a
So
crazy
blaster
finisher.
stance, the team wanted something with more range, but also thought that a Jedi using a blaster would be a cool opportunity from a story standpoint as well.
I know from a story standpoint, we thought it would be really something that reflects the journey that Cal's going through to do something that's unconventional.
Yeah.
Something that's usually frowned upon for a Jedi.
I agree.
And
I think it's great.
Kind of putting in this circumstance where he's doing whatever it takes in the situation. And, you know, that's something that I think through conversations, we were able to really make that work in regards to combat. We wanted something that had more range.
Yep, that makes
We
sense.
wanted something that kind of had push and pull to it. Where
I'm glad that they made it like a different blaster and they didn't do the thing that Ezra did and they just combined it, you know what I mean? I'm glad that they
like, the way the blaster is
made the
designed,
blaster its own thing
it
and didn't
encourages
incorporate it
you
into the
to
lightsaber.
Use your saber in order
Because I would
to,
just feel
like,
repetitive with Ezra.
replenish your ammunition on your gun. Like I said, it's almost this rubber band that we're encouraging the player to engage up close.
Crotch.
so that
I
they
was
can
gonna. I was thinking it. I'm like,
make
they're really
decisions
just kind of
from
like
far
zooming
away
in
as
on this
well.
crotch right now.
To be clear, this is still a melee combat game.
You're
You
right.
won't be sniping stormtroopers from a distance with the blaster stance.
Not yet.
Not a shooter, obviously, right? It's like a
Challenge
melee gun, kind of,
accepted.
You know, you're really shooting from long range, but there's a limit to it.
Oh well, there's
We
a
always
limit.
feed back into that thoughtful combat and kind of how we still want you to hit with the saber.
One of the most exciting aspects of these 5 stances is that they all come with their own skill tree. So each stance will have its own set of
Ooh.
upgradable
So every stance has a skill tree. Did you just hear that? That's like 5 different skill trees.
skills
That's crazy.
to help you further develop it. Stances aren't the only thing that have their own skill tree either. There's a tree for force powers and one for survival skills that offer flat increases to your health.
So instead of doing one skill tree where they have branches, they have different skill trees per different things. That's
Force
crazy.
meter, and more. It all amounts to a combat system that offers a ton of flexibility in how you want to build up your own version of Cal Kestis. You can only equip 2 stances at a time, but you can change them at every meditation point and adjust your loadout for whatever the situation calls for.
Okay, so can you only change your stances at a meditation point? Because I think that's kind of dumb. I do think that you should be able to change your stances whenever. Do you know what I mean?
It's exciting stuff, and I'll go into more detail about it when my full preview for Star Wars Jedi Survivor comes out later this month.
Okay,
Thanks
so
for
they're going to
watching, and
release
for
this
more
all
IGN
later.
First coverage of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Make sure to check out our gameplay clip
Oh,
on
that
Koboh,
looks so
along
fun.
with a breakdown of some of the new enemies that you'll be fighting. And for everything else, keep it here.
All right, well, that was interesting. Actually, very insightful. Dismemberment, more skill trees, more weapons. I'm very excited for this game. I think this is very, very insightful. Hopefully, we get to see this gameplay that they're talking about very, very soon. If you haven't already, make sure you drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.